Hello, everybody. I am Glenn.
And I'm Zach.
And together we are Fun King 3D. We haven't done that intro in a long time. And with us, as always, of course, is my brother from another mother, James, from Print N Play.
Hey, everybody.
That's all the energy I have for the day. How was it?
Good night, everybody.
I saved it all up for that. So I don't know what's going on today. I don't know if somebody better is streaming, which would be just like somebody else.
Anybody?
It doesn't seem to be a lot of people in here, but that's all right. Tony Ryan was actually first today, so there's bragging rights to Tony. Felipe is here. Uncle Ron is here. Alan Osborne. Brian is here. Builder's Mark. Scott McClellan. Tom Elrod. And Sanders 3D. Oh, and Sergio. I think I got everybody. I'm really tired. So if any of you missed the story or picked up my hints, I have a Linux server in my house that I thought was a toy. I kind of always thought it was like kind of a hobby project box. And that hobby project box failed yesterday. And then I realized how important that box is to my household. So I was awake until about 3:30 this morning, which is the first time in a long time I've been awake that long. I'm old. I go to bed early, but I also usually get up early. And then I was back awake at 7 this morning, and I kind of nodded in and out for a little while after that. But I didn't get much sleep. Back on fixing the box today. I want to say like a huge thank you to each and every one of you that reached out to me about different hard drive options that you have, and I may still take you up on some of these. We'll see. I was able to spin that drive back up this morning and recover a decent amount of stuff off of there. So what do you got going on back there, James? You're like doing a little camera inception?
Well, you've seen what I've been working on, so I'll just do this.
Oh, I thought you had the camera aiming at the camera.
I did that once as a joke, and I did not include it in the video that I've been working on for this. But come on, rotate.
Oh, there's Mark throwing down $5 USD to let's have a fun stream. I think it would take way more than $5 for a fun stream.
I also want to show off. This is the first stream to feature this gift from a certain Mitch 3D. The cable's stuck. There we go.
Wow, that thing looks like it's in great shape. Did you clean that up, or did it come that way?
It came this way. It is in need of a good surface cleaning. It's got some.
Wow, it looks like it's in really good shape.
Yeah, not too many chips or dents or banged up spots on it. So.
Mark, don't make a special trip for that. Again, I may have gotten enough data off of the drive. The biggest thing, and anybody that's ever touched a Linux box, or really any computer, the biggest thing was stuff like the configuration file for my RAID arrays, the configuration file for my Samba server. Why is Samba server such a pain in the butt? It's been around for so long. You would think that they would have all the bugs worked out of it by now. You know, it would just be easy, but what a pain. So, but yeah, so I got all my shares back. I can't stress enough to you. Take notes. You know, either back up your stuff, which I didn't do. No. And that was the first thing my wife said. Don't you have a backup? All of my drives with my media on it, you know, like all of my Fun King garage videos and stuff, are all on mirrored hard drives. So if one fails, I have another one. In fact, oh, there's Sergio throwing down $9.99 US cents to up the ante. See, now it's starting to become a party in here.
I might get that headset yet.
I sure hope so, because that one's terrible.
I moved the receiver, so it's up on the desk on a USB hub now. I'm hoping that moving it away from the computer might help a bit.
Oh, that's good.
It wasn't a drastic difference. So it doesn't like the YouTube app. As soon as I start fire up the YouTube, it keeps desyncing.
Huh. Interesting.
I've turned the sound down. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try and get back to the home screen.
Uncle Ron said the RAID config should be able to be exported from the RAID controller. Probably so, if it was a hardware RAID. It is not. It's the MDADM software RAID. It's purely just a RAID 1 so that everything is mirrored to 2 drives. So that if I have a single failure, I know Zach is chomping at the bit to get started on this. I mean, so am I, but it's pretty cool, isn't it? Did you see how many spacemen it comes with?
All of them.
Oh no, that's 9 years of play. I forget. It's a lot. I think it's 4.
All of them.
But LC's a NAS unit for backup. Yeah, so I back up all of my media. You know, I double that stuff up. In fact, the way that the videos for Fun King Garage are set up, it's two hard drives, and they rsync every night, and then once a month it does an rsync delete on the backup drive. And I did that so that if I corrupt something, or no, I'm sorry, it rsyncs once a week, and then once a month it does a delete. But that way, if I screw something up, you know. But
Punch it really, but that's how you open boxes.
no, I get out my handy dandy Fun King knife that I got from Tom Llama.
I'm so annoyed that this is happening because I had this all up and running. I've got days worth of recording with it set up, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to show it off on the stream today.
Well, but this is good. This is good, you know, practice to see what. I don't want to damage the box. This is.
Well, yeah, you need to be able to return it after you've built it and then taken it back apart.
No, I'm just going to put rocks in there.
Oh, that's fair.
So I want everybody to know how nice of a guy James is. I'm supposed to be sending James a package, and I haven't sent it yet, and he hasn't even asked me about it, which is kind of too bad, because I was going to be like, oh, I was supposed to send that to you? No, work has been so hectic. I haven't gotten off of work for 2 weeks now, before the post office was closed.
I am generally a pretty patient person, so
At one point I know you are.
At one point I was going to ask you how it was going, and then like I messaged you and you were talking about busy life, I'm like, you know what? This can wait for a more appropriate time to have the conversation.
Don't you ever hold back on me. You just fire away anytime. But no, I got to get the paperwork, and then I have like a bunch of questions to ask you how you want to handle certain things. So, but I should be able to get it sent out this week, no problem. It's just the post office. I mean, mine particularly is horrible, and it's always busy. But they should be open later. Either open way earlier or close way later.
Okay, I think we got it fixed. I gave the converter box its own independent power. Here's the funny thing, though. I unplugged the power, and it drew the power from the Fire Stick, and the Fire Stick got super hot.
Wow.
So I didn't realize. Well, I mean, oh, there we go. Never mind.
It is a Fire Stick.
I think I might unplug the Fire Stick for a few minutes and let it cool down.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed in this set already, because Lego is supposed to be going to. In fact, that might be what. No, this paper shows they're supposed to be going to paper bags instead of the plastic bags. You know, get. I mean, it's funny. They're a plastic toy company, but to get away from the single-use plastics. And this is all plastic.
Change takes time.
It's exactly what this paper is about. We're making our packaging more sustainable. We're transitioning from single-use plastics to paper-based packaging. As we progress, you may find a mix of paper and plastic in our boxes. I didn't get no paper. It's all plastic.
Well,
But that's
it
okay.
does say May.
Yeah. It's a very slow transition.
The Lego is plastic, but it's reusable because
Right.
you could just build a whole new thing.
Right. It's not single use.
You can build the Earth and then throw it out a window.
So everybody gets the up close of my face while I'm leaning into where the power and stuff is.
Yes.
The other thing is this Fire Stick was down in the basement to begin with because we retired it because we were having issues. Not this issue, but other issues with it. So I guess now.
Is it crazy that I don't want to open this instructions manual? It's in a sealed bag. I have Lego instruction manuals from the 50s. I would really like to keep this in the bag. There's a QR code on it. I'm going to see if that's to...
Bring up a digital copy of it?
Yeah.
I bet you there's a scan. Even if it's an unofficial one, I bet you there's a scan online somewhere.
It says booklet available in English on... It says booklet available in English on, and then it goes into French. Oh, they have an app. They have a Lego building instructions app, which kind of sucks because I would like to have put this up on the TV or on the monitor. This table's not big enough for building stuff. What kind of is this?
I do a quick Google search and see if there's somebody with a digitized copy of it, even if it's the unofficial one. As I'm talking with this Fire Stick, I'm like, yeah, we've been having issues. I just decided off camera I'm disassembling it now to see what the inside looks like.
Apart.
See what it does for heat sinking.
Yeah, and then you can build your own.
With cool people in black. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. The antenna. I don't know if you can see that, but there's an antenna, I think, a Wi-Fi antenna as a sticker on the inside of the case.
Remember those stickers they used to sell for cell phones that would give you better
reception?
Right. Sergio said the only time I have to visit the post office is when I have to send registered mail. Well, unfortunately, I have to send a package to Canada. And the last time I tried that through the internet, it did not go well.
There's the, not that reveals much. I guess I can do this too. The inside of a Fire Stick. It's all just heat shields or RF shielding and heat sinking material.
That's not very good heat sinking. Local Maker Michigan said, I'm sick. Why am I sick? Because I don't want to open this book or because I have books from the 50s? Brian wants to know if he inspired you.
Does everyone think that the Fire Stick needs a fan or a heatsink? Oh, I didn't read that beforehand. However, that was my thought process to see if there's an easy way to do cooling. I could design a 3D printed case for this that includes fan. Couldn't I?
Yeah.
Or I just plug it in there. I just do this
the whole time you're using it.
I get 10 minutes into an episode and I'm just tuckered out and passed right out. It's great. I didn't realize TV was so boring.
I never get bored of what I'm watching because I never make it through. I pass out.
I am tempted to see if I can find a bunch of my Raspberry Pi heatsinks and just stick them all over it for the moment.
So there is absolutely an online PDF version of it. That's sweet. I'm not opening this. I mean, it's like a 1/4 inch thick. A good 5 or 6 millimeters, I tell you.
That tells you. Hey, do you want to see another blast from the past? As I'm digging through my drawers, look at. Do you remember these guys? That maybe they're a little after your time. You've probably seen them though.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Look at that. That's one of the original ones. I have 4
full color display. What kind of nonsense is that?
I've got 4 ones that are brand new in the boxes, but they're the re-releases from a couple of years ago.
Felipe wants to know if we're going to talk about cars today. Today's all about spaceships. Tom Lama joined us. He missed getting to see me use the knife that I got from him.
I'm not going to promise to design that case, but I probably will. Because why not?
Make it huge.
Huge?
Like make it like instead of using don't use like a 30 or a 40 millimeter fan, put like a 120 millimeter fan or a 240 on there.
What if I built a box where like the fire stick's in the middle and then there's a blow-in and a exhaust fan on opposite sides, just to get that maximum airflow. And then I'll use like a Pico with a thermometer and stuff so you can monitor the temperature of your fire stick and adjust the fans accordingly.
No, not a Pico though. Full-size Raspberry Pi. Heads will roll.
I think I'll find an ITX board and put an i7 on it, just so you can make sure you get that real-time monitoring as good as possible. Oh look, it's Fire TV. You are now watching Fire TV.
At the same time. Uncle Ron said my first Lego set was hand carved out of wood. Well, that is how they got started, but no.
You are now drinking Coke Zero.
I love Lego. Always have loved Lego. I was big into Lego when I was a kid, and we were at a garage sale one time, and I bought a 5-gallon bucket full of Lego for $10. Put that guy together.
Oh.
I just plugged it in without the case back on. I wonder if it's going to work without its sticker antenna.
I usually care.
Yes, it is, because it's displaying ads.
Is there a helmet?
Yeah, Brian, I think definitely go liquid cooling.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm gonna get copper pipe and I'm just gonna like roll it like all the way around it and flatten it so it's against it. Like, we don't need no stinking heat pipes here. Just straight copper all the way around it, and then just a little aquarium fan. You know what the worst part is? If I did that, it would go viral. My fire stick was overheating, so I just decided to turn it into the ice stick.
Ice stick.
And then I'll play Ice Ice Baby and get demonetized.
Listen, if anybody is going to, dude, you can't just throw that guy on the floor. If anybody posts anything important, please do it in bold so that I can see it.
All caps, like you're yelling.
No, I mean like bold, italics would be great. But
oh, okay. So it must have been a heating issue, I guess. I don't know.
Here we go. I'm exhausted.
Ready, Glenn? Watch this.
Hey, I'm on TV. Literally, you're on TV too.
I'm on the screen thing.
Hi, Mom. We'll be up there in like 35 seconds.
Yeah, we're not even past the point where I skipped your ad. There you go.
You stole from me.
No, it's okay. I didn't break the system to do it. There, you just waved.
Wow, that took a long time.
You missed it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it again. I'll miss it next time too.
Oh, guaranteed. Okay, Zach, I'll let you know when your dad waves, because then you wave right after. This is good. This is quality content that people have come to expect from us. So I was watching myself in 480p the other day.
So Classic Space was from, or was introduced from 78 to 84 was when it came about.
Oh, there. Okay, Zach, here you come. Oh, there you go. That
wasn't even a good wave.
I bumped myself in my.
Oh.
I sold myself because it's.
Okay, now Glenn, you flip the bird, and then we'll get to see it twice.
There's not even a bird in here.
Oh, ketchup bird.
Ketchup bird?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll catch a bird.
Yeah.
A ketchup bird. I thought, what?
The Heinz bird?
Let me see that guy. I want to see how close to I'm gonna have to double glasses this. So they changed the helmet a little bit. The original helmets, for those of you who aren't classic space nuts,
Spaceship.
the chin piece was so thin on them that they would always break, and then they would break off, and it would look like the guy was wearing an old-timey football helmet. But then they reinforced them, but they flared out on the sides. So now they don't flare out on the sides anymore, but they're still thicker. I should have wore my Lego shirt. I have a shirt with the classic Lego logo on it.
I'm going to abuse the fact that we're hanging out right now, and I've got this set up to, for my next video, I need a part where I'm playing one of my videos on this. So I'm just going to set it up and hit record, but then it's going to cut out my video stream for 30 seconds. Oh, geez. I've made so many terrible videos. Which one should I showcase?
So you'll just be gone for 30 seconds, and I have to.
Well, no, I'll still be here. It's the little corner James will still be there. It's the.
Oh, the big one will be gone.
Yeah, which, like, you know, it's the worst of both worlds, to be honest. I don't know which one to pick. Here, let's do this one.
I am 9 pages into this, and we haven't even gotten to building it. This is going to be more than a one Sunday. Do you see that? Do you see that?
Uncle Ron wants to know how many screens deep I can count into the tunnel. Should I after this go ahead and point the camera at this thing and try and get that tunnel effect going and see if we can break all of YouTube? Okay, I'm disappearing. Where's that button? There it is.
Did you drop stuff again?
No.
Oh, well, get up here. Nobody can really see you anyway. You're tiny up there. You should have your TP dispenser on the FK1. A toilet paper dispenser?
Or a teleport dispenser.
I don't know. I don't actually have a toilet paper dispenser. That's fancy. All right, you got to build that. You building this or am I building this?
What?
I just realized.
What's that?
It had the quality set to 1080p because the adapter's reporting, oh, I'm a 1080p capable device. I'll go ahead and knock that down. I bet you that'll keep it cooler.
Yeah, that'd probably help.
Oh, now it's updating my Fire Stick control and it's blanked out the screen.
Oh, the Lego. Oh, the toilet paper holder. Yeah, he's in a bin in the garage still from Maker Faire last year. I mean, the one in the house is still in the house. I had to make another one because I was tired of taking the one out of the bathroom to take to Maker Fairs.
Says me, I get it set up so I can record the footage and it does this.
Update in progress?
Yeah.
That seems about right.
So there's I think the external cooling strip, which just looks like a piece of I don't know, stickered copper. It's got a bit of a copper tone. I think it's copper tape, but don't hold me to it.
It's copper colored aluminum. It's copper clad aluminum.
Transparent aluminum? Can anybody name what movie that's from?
Nope.
If Glenn can't figure it out, nobody can figure it out.
The movie.
It's from that movie with that one guy in it.
The movie that was filmed.
So nobody has said anything yet. So I guess I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. Zach,
I told you not to call me that anymore.
So last week we didn't have a stream, but the week before we made a big deal about this being the 50th stream and that everything was going to be new and different. New thumbnail, which I guess technically it is a new thumbnail. I didn't lie. New background, which it's not. Dropping the James and Glenn off.
I thought it was going to be different after number 50. I thought you'd done all the thumbnails up to 50. So
Well, I
like,
did. I changed it today. I made the episode 50 real big, just so I could say I changed it. But I don't know. Just coming up to it, I thought that 50 should be the one where everything was changed. But I didn't get a chance. I've been working so much overtime, and then with the whole server going down yesterday, I didn't get a chance to monkey with it. We don't have to have that in there. We can take that out of that ring. It's fine. It's not going anywhere. But next week's show
will be the same as this one.
new thumbnail. Because I don't have any more pre-made thumbnails, so I got to make them anyway. Is this like a coffee robot? I think Zach's making a coffee robot.
Yeah, it's a coffee thing.
It's a
I'm gonna
robot
call
barista.
I got enough of my own content there.
Anyways.
I'm now content with my content.
You're content with your content?
Yep. We've been discussing, and it won't be. Oh, that Fire Stick is so hot now without the case on it that I can't touch it.
Wow.
She is toasty.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, I bet you that's probably 70 degrees right now. Celsius.
I was going to say 70 degrees. 70 degrees wouldn't be no big deal at all. Good
It's
job.
hot. It's hot enough that
You gotta turn
where
that
I'm
on.
holding the PCB right now, it is uncomfortable to hold. Oh, is that Bender?
It's a coffee robot.
It's Bender.
That might have a self-destruct sequence.
You gotta back it up with something so that it focuses. Stop moving it. Just hold it still so that it focuses in. There you go. See? There's... Okay. You were saying we've been talking about.
Oh, so space in our house is pretty limited. Glenn is definitely familiar with at least a bit of the stuff I've done to try and maximize how much I can do in here without having to go rent a storage lock or whatever. And then we had hit the point where we were discussing maybe getting like a 5x7 storage locker set, like just enough for the bins and all the extra computer towers and stuff like that. And then we started discussing potentially building an 8x12 shed in the backyard. Because that's the largest we can go without having to like get people out to do an inspection and get a permit issued and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Well, technically we can go 10x10, but as most people know, an 8x12 would be easier to build in terms of the cuts and stuff because you can get 8-foot lumber and 12-foot lumber.
Right.
So, makes it real convenient. So then instead of it just being a storage locker, we've now discussed is 8x12, which ends up being like 7x11 usable space on the inside, potentially large enough to do a filming studio and then have the ceiling and it be tall enough that there's additional storage and stuff up there. Because we have an old pool shed right now that already has power and everything run to it. And we have another shed that can be used for storage. So we're considering tearing down the pool shed, moving the other shed out of the way, and then building the 8x12 where the pool shed is now, and then basically trying to build it into a kind of internally finished building that could have cameras and lighting and all that stuff. And then just sort of tucking additional storage into it where possible. Because when we started pricing it out, it's like for the cost of a rental unit for like a year, we can pay for the entire building.
Well, not only that, but at the end of the year, when you've rented it, what you have is less money.
Yes.
At the end of the year from building it, what you have is a shed that you own.
Brian brought up pre-made. The issue, so we did go and take a look at some of the pre-mades that are available. We found one that looked pretty decent for like $2,200. So that'd be more like a year and a half worth of renting. But the snags I ran into them is that they're never built in such a way that the ceiling is high enough to have like an additional storage in the rafters type thing. They're always built so like the roof is basically like you have a high point in the roof where you've got like 7-foot clearance and then a low point where it's like 5.5 feet.
Yeah,
'Cause-
here we have through our Home Depots, they have a barn roof shed that's actually full 2-story inside.
I have seen videos of that, and it's like $4,500, and you can basically turn it into a
Well,
mini
it's
home.
not $4,500 anymore.
Oh no!
No, I think they're like about 15 grand now.
Oh geez.
Lumber's expensive.
So we're playing with that idea, and then the hybrid could be to potentially that the hybrid could be that we build it for the first year and don't finish the inside, and it's just a storage building while we decide how the spacing is going to work and stuff, and then we can migrate a lot of the extra stuff that's in the basement out there. So, but it does add the extra cost of we need to keep it warm in the winter and cold in the summer.
Right.
And like when I say warm in the winter, it's like 10 C in the winter and 30 C in the summer. So we're not going to be running AC and heat all the time, but there is additional electrical costs incurred because of that.
So your temperature varies from 10 to 30?
No, I'm talking about what I would be setting the cooling system to, because cooling it down to like 25 degrees or whatever during the summer when I'm not in there recording greatly increases how long the AC has to run to do that.
Right.
And nothing
Well,
I
like
stored in the...
this space, and we'd have to do the conversion, but I keep this space at 80 degrees when I'm not in here, which is all week long. And then when I come in here for the streams, I crank it down to 75. It's quite nice in here, isn't it?
So, and then during the winter, basically I need to keep it a little bit above freezing, and I don't want there to be such a huge variance that you get condensations and stuff forming and things.
Right. Yeah.
but-
You can't like just turn the conditioning off.
Yeah.
You have to you have to maintain it.
Uncle Ron says problem is once you use it for storage, you have to empty it to change build or add. That is the case. So we were considering basically saying we build it as a storage shed, we move everything into it, and we see how that works for the basement after everything's been relocated out there, and then decide whether or not we need an additional living space, or not living space, but working space added to the mix. But it's something we're playing with. I'm gonna 3D model the room up in Fusion just to get a feeling for how the spacing is going to work out.
So, whose idea was this? Did Kay come up with this idea? Because maybe she's just moving you out.
No, this is my idea, and then we started discussing it. And then at one point, she's like, "Well, what if we build this 8x12 shed, and it's my office, like her office, and she can get it set up, and we can do nice windows and stuff like that, and then I can just have the current office room as like turn that into the recording studio." And I said, well, are you going to literally 5 days a week when it's winter, walk out through the snow to get to the building to go to work, and then back and forth every time you need to use the washroom? And
You got no bathroom out there.
Well, because that's the other thing. As soon as you want to do water, it's no longer considered like an auxiliary building. As soon as you want to plumb it, so then you have to get permits and stuff. So
well, I mean, getting water to it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, that's just a garden hose. It's getting rid of the water. That's the problem.
Yeah. So it's something we're considering because, so you build an 8x12, the room ends up being 7x11, which isn't like a huge room, but it's also significantly larger than the storage shed we're looking at for the same cost.
Maybe we should just build this shed, and then you could put a cot out there so that you could nap.
It's funny because I wanted one side to be sort of the filming side, right? So there'd be a desk and then, light and everything. And I said on the other side, we could potentially stick a fold out couch so that if we've got company and stuff, because right now we keep an entire dedicated room for guests, and we have people stay with us like, I don't know, maybe 20 days a year. So you have an entire section of the house you never use because you got to keep it empty. So I said, well, we could do a fold out couch or something in there, but her feeling is that if we're going to do this, keep it dedicated to the original intent.
Yeah.
So, thoughts?
Thoughts on that situation, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to come down to what works for you. So I will tell you, here's a problem that I have with the studio now being remote from the house. My stuff is scattered everywhere.
That is true.
I mean, yes, I realize that I'm 80 feet from the bulk of my tools, but not necessarily my maker tools. So now some of those maker tools are in here and some of them are still upstairs. I mean, yesterday I needed a set of micro screwdrivers and had to run down here to get them. So,
and definitely part of what we discussed too is because she said, okay, so all your stuff would be leaving the basement. I said, well, no, the 3D printers would have to stay in here because I also don't want to have to run a ton of additional power. I talked to a buddy and we discussed we're going to run probably like a second breaker out there so that I've got two 20 amp circuits out there, which should be more. But the 3D printers also take up a fair amount of like wall space and stuff like that. So I didn't see how with an 8x11 room I'd be able to have all my 3D printers set up in there plus the filming setup and whatnot. Just don't invite anybody over.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good comment.
Yeah.
Don't invite so many people over. Problem fixed, right? Yeah, if you have a whole guest bedroom set up that you seldomly ever use.
Glenn or Uncle Ron says, James, build a 4,100 square foot shed so Glenn has to add to his.
4,001. No,
keeping up with the Jameses.
Keeping up with the vice grip garages. A fella already built a bigger garage than what I have. Yep.
So that's the thought process. I'm going to model it. We won't be building it until next year at the earliest if it goes through. I am also playing with the idea, like we have a fairly decent sized backyard. So I'm also kind of, what if we just build a bigger building and we get the permit? And, we don't have to worry about plumbing and stuff like that. So getting the permit's probably not terribly difficult. You just have to have it a certain space away from the fences and that's it.
Yeah, meet your setback. Well, and okay, so again, you're in a completely different country, so things may or may not work out. But here, and here specifically, like here where I live, you could build a building and pre-plumb it to have a bathroom, but not complete the bathroom. So like you could put all the rough-in plumbing underneath and just terminate it outside the building.
Oh yeah,
don't put in the toilet, don't mount a sink, but the stuff is there, and you tell them that it's just for future proofing, and they're fine with that. And then when they're not looking, you just hook it all up. Ron says to pick him up on my way to Canada.
I missed your message on Twitter, the one that you sent with the stream, the link. So I'm now reading it. Yes, it's the same message you delivered to the rest of us at the beginning of the stream.
What's that?
About how tired you are and how rough your day's been. And
well, it's not that it was rough. I'm old. I sleep. I like sleep. So I have just ripping headache right now because of.
Glenn, look at chat.
That's all right. I have a couch. Here in the studio. I have a bathroom.
Also, Mitch 3D's here, so I'm just going to go ahead and hold that up.
Mitch is there? He's in Canada?
No, he's in chat.
Nana says hi. Are you reading the chat? You got to read the chat. That's your job. That's what Xander used to do for me.
Am I getting paid?
Yep. You like
in
to
life
eat
experience.
I need money.
You don't need money. You got more money than I do.
I need money.
All right, now you can do that part.
People nowadays are so spoiled with things like Windows keys. Back in my day, we just hit Control Escape, and that's what we liked about it. It is a fancy keyboard. I actually was gonna hook my computer up to it for today and watch the chat on it, but then realized that I've only got the one HDMI cable run over here, so I had to choose between the 4K display and the 0.04K display. So trying to think of what else I could connect to it though.
Yeah, I dug out the computer that used to be my old Linux server, thinking maybe it still had some configuration files on it that I could use as a jumping point.
And
But that's the machine that I formatted out and put Ubuntu desktop on to use as my streaming machine there for a while. And I couldn't find a mouse to plug in. It was like 1:30 this morning. I couldn't find a mouse to plug in. I don't know how to use Ubuntu desktop without a mouse. I pretty much just went to terminal and did what I needed in terminal.
I bought a 4K action camera that I was going to use for specific setups when recording, and then I haven't actually used it since. And I bought it like 2 months ago.
Is it
And
an
it's
actual GoPro?
no, that's why I said action camera. It's a it's in I'm dealing with the delay from just putting, because I'm watching the YouTube or like your feed, so there's like a 1 second delay from my movements to, so it's an Acaso.
Yeah, Uncle Ron sent me a off-brand one sometime back. It was it's pretty decent.
I did do some test footage on it and it looked pretty good, and so I'm basically hoping to mount it like forehead style, so that when I'm working on computers and stuff, I basically get, you know, like a continuous B footage of what I'm doing, so I can just stick that in for anything I might miss. If I had an easy way to get a computer hooked up to this right now, I would definitely start putting some modern games on it. However, there is a video coming out on the Print and Play Retrospective channel this week that will feature some of that. So if you guys are interested in seeing how more modern games look on something that's probably older than some of the people in chat, it's actually, I'm older than the TV, so go figure. Saw you muted it. Zach let out a big fart.
No, he was kind of resting his hand on my armrest, and I didn't want him, because if I put my arm on there, it would pinch his hand between the armrest and the table. So
yeah, yeah. Too many parents scared to teach their kids lessons the hard ways these days, you know. So Kay and I play this game that was a precursor to Minecraft. It's the game that Notch worked on before Minecraft. And if you don't put locks on your doors, the smarter enemies can open them. So I went upstairs to grab an HDMI extension cable so I could put the camera up here. And she's like, "You're dead." I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Your other character's dead too." I'm like, "How?" Like, a troll walked in and beat you guys to death. I'm trying to go to sleep in the bed so he stops hitting me. Oh no, I keep that extra footage, Uncle Ron, for my OnlyFans.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me on OnlyFans, so I'm on Lonely Fans instead.
Lonely Mans.
All right, so we gotta flip this over.
Oh, I have merch to show off. It's prototype merch. I haven't
prototype merch.
It's a thing. Cause did I just show my address? The address is on the envelope, and I thought I had it pointed, but then I saw like the envelope.
I don't know. Was it in the big camera or the little camera?
It was probably on the big one. I'm gonna have to open up the stream. I do have to double check this, and then as I've just brought attention to it.
Nobody cares where you live.
Especially me.
That used to really concern me, but then I realized that I'm so well known on the internet. Not well known, but like I'm all over the internet. I could never scrub myself of the, from the internet. So I stopped worrying about it and just bought more guns. 2 more of these. Paul Comer says, "What's the temp on PETG?" Well, it technically depends on the brand that you buy, but I print PETG somewhere between 220 and 245, depending on what filament it is. Shoot for the 230 range; you'll be good.
No, I did not show my address. It was actually just the edge of my headset. I thought like I thought I saw white flash as I was moving across. Anyways, so you got some prototype merch the other day.
Uncle Ron said that 50 cal in the robotic rooftop turret. It's awesome.
Okay, so I have all the logos as stickers. You've seen all the logos because they were designed by a mutual acquaintance of ours. So there's the
Sergio said, "Don't worry, he already knows where you live." Canada.
Oh, okay. So these are all for the retrospective channel. So that's a retro rainbow. It's based on the old Sony VHS cassettes. So it's kind of the color style, except for it would have been more sideways. I don't know if you remember those or not. Probably. Speaking of which, there's basically the design it's based on.
There you go. Yeah.
What else do we got here? We have the just the P from that logo in blue. It's a dotted
P. You peed on that logo. That's not very nice.
I peed on that logo, absolutely. And then we got these guys that are kind of fun. I'm sure some people will get the what the logo is referencing.
Yeah.
Zach won't.
No.
There's that one's a different version of it.
How come you're not helping anymore?
And then there's the zebra print one for when you want your 80s mom to look super hot. Oh, and then there's that same P with the retro colors instead of the blue. Let's see the two of them together.
Other way, I already did that side. Oh, I guess we only have to do one. Oh, we only have to do one. We'll do the other one in 5 minutes. Pop it open, pop it open, pop open that MTV.
And the original Print and Play logo. I'm not super impressed with how these stickers came in though, because they're like laser cut or die cut or whatever. But I don't like the fact that they like left the full big square. Like it seems unprofessional to me. You know what I mean? Like that's how they showed up with like jagged cut edges, all that stuff.
Oh, they didn't cut around the letter. Like they didn't follow the shape of the letter.
For the backing, they so like if you look real close, like the sticker is cut out.
I got
But every other company I've ordered stickers from, they cut not only the sticker part but the backing as well.
Right, all the way through.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a different company right now, which is unfortunate because the rest of so this is all through a company called Redbubble, which allows you to like upload your logos and then pick the items you want to be able to sell it on, and then they handle getting the stuff manufactured, made to order. But I didn't love that. No, they all subcontract most of their stuff. So you may order something 6 times and get it from 6 different manufacturers. The one thing I'm annoyed with though, so that retro rainbow logo, I've had people asking about it on hats. So I ordered 3 hats to see how it would look, and they canceled the hat order and gave me the money back as a coupon. So like a one-time use coupon. They're like, okay, here's the $130 for the hats or whatever back with the shipping and everything. But if you don't use the full 130 in one shot, that's it. Like it's an all or nothing kind of thing. So like K-Romatic was like, they should be giving you cash back, or like they should have contacted you before issuing that coupon. I'm like, well, I think
they should refund your money back based on how you paid.
Yeah. Or at least contact you before making. And there was a thing like, if this doesn't work for you, please contact us. I'm like, so I contact them like, okay, I've got people that are asking for these hats. So before I, leave the hat as an available option on the thing, like, can you tell me what went wrong? And they contacted me back and said, oh, it was a manufacturing issue. The subcontracted company that does the hat creation was having issues with their machines cutting like the white bubbles on it. So it's a one-time thing. I'm like, okay, so I'm safe to reorder them then. And she said, yeah, unless their machine it's still having machine problems or whatever, but it'll likely go to a different manufacturer. So I put the order in again. A week goes by, and they cancel the hats again. And I get another email. Here's your coupon for the cost of the hats. And so I emailed them back, and finally they're like, "Oh, the image you're providing can't be put onto a hat because it's got these shadows behind certain elements on it. And when we're trying to do that, it basically tries to match the background of the hat, or like the background of the image to whatever on the machine that does the fabricating for the logo for the hat. And as a result, it removes the transparency. So and then basically highlight these are the parts that need to be corrected for it to be working on a hat. I think the issue is that like you need more solid colors potentially for going onto a hat. But I'm like, why wouldn't they tell me that the first time? It's now been 2 weeks.
Right, as opposed to just saying we have trouble and then canceling it.
Yeah. So I contacted the designer of those, and he was able to hammer out adjusted versions without the shadows in an afternoon. And so I've sent it back for fabricating again, but I'm going to be very angry if this, after going through this, it's like, no, that's still not the problem. The problem is you didn't stand on your head while you clicked push the order button.
Right, exactly. You didn't spin around 3 times.
You didn't knock 3 times on the ceiling.
Andy posted that Dixon had to go to sleep last Sunday, 7:31:22, and I'm lost at the moment. I'm assuming that Dixon is a pet.
Sorry.
But either way, sorry for your loss, brother. Absolutely sorry for your loss.
Yeah, we're all pet lovers here. That is never easy.
Well, sometimes I'd like to give mine a good beating, but I do love them. Dog. Yeah. Lost my dog in 17. Still miss her. She was a good dog. Well, now the air kicked off and it doesn't feel as nice in here. No, what I was going to say to you about because you were saying the temperature between 10 and 30. I thought you were saying that that's what your temperatures ranged from 10 to 30.
Oh, no, that was during the hot weather, I'll keep it at 30. During the cold weather, I'll keep it at 10. And then I'll set it up so that I can turn the air conditioning or heat up remotely like an hour before I go out. So it's
because I was going to say, man, I wish our temperature only varied that much. But I guess we do the same. I keep upstairs at the house at 80 just because it's really just me up there most of the time. But the downstairs at 78. And then in the wintertime, we just don't run the heat.
Dad.
Yeah, bud.
Uncle Ron said, James said pets, not your kids.
Oh, sorry. And to clarify, I said I would like to beat them. I didn't say I do beat them. Just to make that clear. I don't want anybody sending me hate mail. I don't beat my animals. I do beat my children, though, when they deserve it.
Who doesn't beat your children when they deserve it?
That's right. So we got to go and visit Zach's school on Friday for orientation and meet his teacher. He's going into 6th grade this year, and his class is the biggest class that the school has, and it's 9 students. The whole school is only 35 students, which blows my mind. Like, that's amazing. Come on, you got to pay attention, man. We got 9 bags to go through. This is going to take us nine streams.
It's not free content, but it's going to be so diluted by the time that it's finished, it'll feel like it.
But by the time we're done with this will be classic space. Uncle Ron said, Zach, what'd you get for your birthday? A whooping.
Same thing as last year.
How can they exist on 9 students? It's $100,000 a child. No, not really. Zach actually has a scholarship to go. It is a private school, but Zach has a scholarship to go because he's special in more ways than one. No,
Not
it's
sure if
because,
that's PC, buddy.
it's because of his ADD. So, but no, they're trying to keep the school small. They're trying to not go overboard, and then they got a grant this year for new desks and computers. So they bought as many as the grant would afford them, and that's how many students that they limited it to. And what'd she say? It's doubled this year? A little more than doubled. Or a little less than doubled. I don't know. It's approximately twice as many students this year as last year. So. Does the school have a paleontology course? If they did, Zach would be teaching it.
Dinosaurs? My car runs on dinosaurs.
all the minerals and dinosaurs a car could need.
Oh, Derek. Hey,
So this week's video is done. Mine, the garage channel. I just have to give it a final watch. I usually let it stew for a couple of days, and then I give it a final watch before I export it, because I find things like I forgot to put the whole entire intro in. But
and it was better for it. No, just kidding.
Probably.
I like the part where you hurt your kid in the last one.
Well, you're gonna love this week's. Shoes on the other foot. Make sure you're doing that the right way. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, because it goes around. It spins around. What was I going to say? Where was I going with that? Oh, there's a head nod to Vice Grip Garage in there. Yeah, did you catch his live stream? I didn't.
I didn't
not catch it live. I watched part of it. It's like almost 3 hours. Who the heck watches a 3-hour live stream? But it just I have a really hard time going back and watching live streams. And as I say that, I want to say thank you to everybody that comes back and watches these live streams after the fact.
I paid the bots well.
What's that?
I said I paid the bots well.
But I need to explain why I have a hard time with it, and it's because I like to interact. And so the whoever is doing the streamer will say something, and I want to type in the comments, or somebody will say something in the comments, and I want to respond, and you can't. It's too late. So, but that's my hard part. And then when I was streaming with and this holds true for James too. This is why I don't watch James's content. When I was streaming with Fun in the Country Basement, I could not watch Chris Riley's videos because, like, I'd have him running while I was working or whatever, and he would say something, and I would verbally respond to him. So, yeah, because when you get used to talking to the same people all the time, and then reruns really dampen the heckling fun. That's right.
I like the fact that you can see the little dots going across the interference. You don't get that in modern day TVs anymore.
The snow.
Can everybody agree though? Like, if you were staying somewhere and they had a Fire Stick or whatever hooked up to a TV like this is perfectly like usable. Like you're at a cabin or something somewhere.
Yeah, but so okay, I have a feeling though that it's going to come down to. I mean, if you're in a cabin and you have nothing else, then maybe. But like, if I said to my child, "Here, watch YouTube on this TV," he'd be like, "What? This is garbage," because he didn't have to watch that TV growing up.
You're saying my nostalgia is kicking
I know
in.
you would still watch it. What's that?
You're saying my nostalgia is kicking in.
Well, I mean, we grew up with those TVs. It was as good as it got back then.
Yeah,
and it was fine.
Do you know what's interesting? So this is a spoiler for the new video, but it's not really a big deal. One of the things I did was watch an episode of Stranger Things on this, and it is the perfect thing to watch an episode of Stranger Things on because it's an 80s show with 80s, you know what I mean? Like it fit on perfectly, and it actually like gave it a more like eerie sense while you're watching it.
I could absolutely see that. Yeah. I mean, that's actually that'd be kind of a good use to have an old TV is to go back and watch some older movies.
Netflix does. I'd have to play with it because obviously I'm not going to spend like 20 hours trying to get everything figured out for the best app and stuff. But Netflix obviously tries to, or the adapter and stuff tries to stretch widescreen content to full screen, so like the proportions are off a bit. But I bet you that there's probably configuration stuff I could do to fix that.
I do believe that is true. Yeah.
I have definitely been there. We had a Zenith wood grain or like wood box console television that died, and we had a 19-inch CRT TV sitting on top of it, using the old one as a TV stand because the big one had died. I managed to get that old 25-inch TV working again, so then it made its way to the basement to be our like Nintendo TV. Then we got a better TV for there, so we hauled it outside and out through the back door with the intent of throwing it out on garbage day. And this was like early November. Well, we forgot we stuck it back there. So I go out in April, and guess what? It's been sitting out all winter, pressed up against the back of the house where nobody's been because it's been snowed in. And what does my dumb butt do? Are we allowed to say dumbass? I just said it anyways.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
Zach will scold you for that.
No, you won't.
Language.
No. What if I say the other name for donkey?
That's what I always try it with him, but yeah, he doesn't buy that.
But that's a donkey.
Donkey. That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Anyways, I'm my dad, wheel it to the front and throw it out. As I'm wheeling it to the front, I walk past the external power. Thing's been sitting in snow for 6 months. The finish on the top is ruined because it's had water melt into it. It started up. Was able to tune in and watch TV on it. It was absolutely fine. After sitting outside in the snow for 6 months. I almost felt bad putting it out to pasture. It's like it fought so hard. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Guess I'm building this on my own. Are you bored already? I've been ignoring chat.
It's okay, chat's been ignoring us.
I need.
We're back to doing this again, are we?
I need one of these. I think these are the landing gears.
Those are two or one big word.
You don't know what landing gear is? Neither landing nor gear is a big word.
They're massive words.
Oh, yous guys.
How did we miss that? Where were you?
What?
No, not you.
You know, Xander never missed stuff like that. I can see why you said a certain one was your favorite of the two kids.
so Golden Corral. I don't. You guys don't have Golden Corral, do you?
No.
So Golden Corral is a buffet restaurant, which is actually where Farts is held every year.
A buffet?
They have a commercial right now, and the dad is sitting at the table, and then the son and the daughter, and she looks down at her plate, and she goes, "Oh, Dad, which one's your favorite?" And he's like, "Jacob," and she's like, "Excuse me? I meant which one of the chicken is your favorite?" And he's like, "Oh, I like all the chickens equally. You know that, honey." And then he's like, "You gotta admit though, he's pretty awesome." And then like fist bumps him. Uncle Ron said, "Is butt cheeks one word, or do they need to be spread apart?" Oh, what one did I get you with the other day?
Oh, did you? You've probably all the ones I can think of. You've probably already told him at some point. Like,
well, he's here. Go for it. He loves dumb jokes.
Hey Zach, did you hear about the farmer that got an award? He was outstanding in his field.
What did I get you with the other day?
Because
I always try to find a way to like work it into a, like he thinks that I'm telling him a honest story, or like, and then you can kind of see the wheels turning where he's trying to figure out if I'm being serious or not, and then I lose it. I can't.
Do you know what time? Do you know what time you should go to the dentist? At 2:30.
He knows that one from Big City Greens. That's a great cartoon.
You can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
Well, you can.
It just gets awkward.
Sometimes they don't like it.
Time flies like an arrow, but fruit flies like a banana.
I speak to bees because I have no other friends. One of the bees said hello there. Do you know what his name is? Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you don't get that joke, you've never been on the internet before.
Never been on the internet before. I'm guilty as charged.
I am the internet.
Boom, 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 boom.
Chat's quiet. Did everybody leave us? No, we got 18 people watching me put Lego together.
Lego.
Lego's awesome.
Okay, so I think what's happening is the Fire Stick is heating up so much that it's heating up the connections inside the HDMI to composite adapter, and that's what's causing the video to cut in and out. Because the HDMI connector on that Fire Stick is part of the heat sinking system. Bad design.
Well, again, they do call it a Fire Stick.
I set fire to the rain stick.
Amazon has so much money, they don't care if they burn your house down. Does that look right?
I am actually, that would be the easiest solution, is just get an HDMI extension of some sort out and plug it in so it's not directly connected to it, but I don't know where I have one at the moment.
I actually need a 45-foot HDMI cable.
Well, that's a lot of cooling distance, so yeah, that would work. Actually, I have. This will help a little bit, I guess. I got this guy. It's a 90-degree HDMI adapter. That'll add a little extra additional cooling to it.
Yeah.
Modern day problems require modern day solutions.
You could solder a piece of copper wire on that's about 2 feet long and then put aluminum flags off each side of it.
What is it, a Honda Civic?
Well, you know, like we used to put aluminum on the rabbit ear antennas of the TV.
Yep.
Does absolutely nothing, but people felt better about it.
James, have you ever upgraded an old Android tablet with a newer version of Android? Yes, I have. I'm trying to remember because it was one of the. There's a couple of projects that aim to put newer versions of Android onto older devices. You have to be able to
root
the device, and it has to have a compatible recovery mode, and then you usually replace their recovery application with another recovery application. But
yeah, I actually have to do that to my tablet. So James has actually seen it in real life. I have the Samsung View 17-inch tablet, and I absolutely love that thing. I bought it in 2017, and it's now at end of life as far as like it doesn't get updates anymore. Chrome won't update on it anymore. So it's not fast, but it does what I need it to do.
Okay, so hear me out. What if, because Brian was talking about designing a 3D printable case with fans and stuff. What if I just design an HDMI extender that in and of itself is like covered in heatsink fins and stuff like that? Because we already have a spot where the heat's
just a straight HDMI pass through.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like that. It's like that long, and then it's just got fins all the way around it, and that's the cool.
Make it like 12 inches long.
Yeah.
But a bunch of CPU heat sinks on there.
Yep. There you go. It's the least invasive. You don't even have to void the warranty of your fire starting device.
Now you could get even crazy. Well, I guess it wouldn't work. I was gonna say you could even get crazier and just make the inside of it a 12-inch HDMI extension cable. But I guess that wouldn't really help, would it?
No, that'd be fine.
Oh. You just tell me, say, scroll it down. I think I can back it out just a touch. There. Now the whole page will fit. In fact, oh, there we go. Now we can fit it to page. Man, technology is amazing. Yeah, that's the one that I brought. I brought it. I've had it at Murph, and in fact, I bring it everywhere. But yeah. In fact, Uncle Ron, that's the one that I left at the hotel, Orlando Maker Faire. I left it at the hotel and didn't realize it until Maker Faire was over on Sunday, and I freaked out. And luckily, they still had it, though. It was in the lost and found. I love that thing. You getting it? Don't be breaking parts.
Don't go breaking my parts.
This may be the largest set that I've ever built. I want you guys to know that it says right here on the box. It says right here on the box. 18 years and up.
That's how long it takes to build
it. Yeah, because it took them longer than 18 years to come out with it. But I mean, I don't know why. Why would that be 18 years and up, other than the fact that you don't buy a young kid a $100 Lego set? But what's up with the Echo Dots looking like eggs? You know, they do some crazy stuff. They want it to look nice in your home. I want it to be invisible. And I want my Amazon Echoes to be more like Jarvis, where I can just have a conversation with it.
And then it becomes a a
What-
physical thing that you could
whatever.
grab and it has a laser beam coming out of it.
Whatever. Would you get that built?
No.
Why is this not done yet? This is the least successful 50th stream ever.
Uncle Ron said I have a Star Destroyer that I ordered from one of those Chinese companies, and it's just a plastic bag of parts, no instructions. Holy crap!
Womp womp.
I can't even imagine.
I was actually maybe this is what I was looking for. Nope. Although this is neat. I ordered this from AliExpress, so it, hopefully doesn't burn down my house. It's a hat for a Raspberry Pi. You know what a hat is, obviously.
Yeah, it's the thing you put on your head so the sun doesn't burn you.
Exactly. It's a. I'm gonna see if I can take the sticker off without. It's a UPS system for Raspberry Pi. So you put in those whatever those batteries are called. Does it have the no? It doesn't.
The LM8 whatevers.
Yeah, the 16805s or whatever. You put a couple of those in there, and it connects to the Pi. And there's I think power management and stuff like that as well. It's got these spring-loaded pegs on it. You can just sort of see the copper there.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't tried it yet, but I thought that'd be neat for a potential solution for building like a handheld device.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do not remove the isolation tape, otherwise ESD will damage the device. That's
Uncle Ron said UPS system, it automatically ships your stuff for you.
yeah.
Well, at least it's not a FedEx system where it just breaks your crap.
Hey, we said it would get there eventually. We didn't see how many parcels, and we didn't try to imply that those parcels would all be intact.
They are a dumpster fire of a shipping company.
The other thing I've been doing for way down the line at some point is keeping an eye on AliExpress for computer components for retro computing to pop up, and then buying them. And it's like some of the most garbagey. Sorry about the crinkling of the bag. It's some of the most garbagey garbage that I've ever seen. But eventually, I will try and slap it all into a working computer. I got a sound card that's compatible with apparently DOS as well as Windows 95 and Windows 98. And actually, you know what? I take it back. It's not terrible, but it's definitely something. Yeah. There.
It looks like everything else that's on the market. I mean,
Yep. It's in CMI 8738. So
like it's not going to give you, pristine sound, but
how many bleeps and bloops do you actually need?
yeah, when your bleep is and bloopsing down in the comment section.
I have not tested any of the, and you can get different size cell batteries, but I haven't done any testing with it yet. So,
well, and then I mean, to go even beyond that, it would be super easy to 3D print a dummy battery that goes in there, which I guess you could have just done that with a battery pack, but I don't know. So it's legitimately a battery backup, though, right? Like you run the Pi on a power supply.
Yeah, you can, but like you can also use it as like a full battery
Yeah.
for it as well. But yeah,
Well, I'm just thinking that would be a pretty good option
for your
if
Pi hole.
somebody was to to build a Pi hole.
Yep.
And not, I mean, because if it's their only network component, to have a battery backup for that's pretty dumb. Like an actual battery backup.
Yep.
I wonder how long, like say a 650 battery backup, how long would that run a Raspberry Pi? Probably a long time.
Did I tell you my mistake with battery backups? I went looking for a battery backup for my Prusa because, I've had a couple of times where I'm doing a long print and it just so happens that's when, like, the power here is very stable, but like the once or twice a year that it might flicker always tends to be during like a long print.
Well, not only that, but I mean, a lot of people don't realize battery backups are good for brownouts too. You may not realize that your voltage is dipping or even spiking, but so Sorry, go ahead.
That's a good point. So I buy one and it's like an 850 watt one. I'm like, sweet. And it says like, well, how long will that even last? I'm like, well, 850 watts. It's a 250 watt max draw printer, but really it's drawing like 60 watts most of the time. So I'm like, it's gonna last for like hours and hours and hours. Nope. I connected to it and it's like 15 minutes. And then I look at it, it's like, yeah, when they call it like an 800 watt one, it'll power 800 watts worth of equipment for like 2 minutes.
Right.
I didn't realize that, and like probably should have, because obviously the battery that's in them is not like super sizable. But I was like, running that, and I had like these ideas of like I'm going to use it to power a printer in the car, so I can do like a traveling printer type thing. And nope.
Well, I run these two off of a 550, and I'm trying to think if I've ever had the power go out when I was running more than one. I think I've had it with these two, never all four of them, when I had the four of them back there. But it's not going to run them for very long. But in a power dip situation, you done? You booking out on me? Okay. Make sure you change your shirt back out. I'll spin the camera around so everybody can see your super muscular chest.
Oh, it lasted a little bit longer, but the heat eventually got through that piece too.
Wow, that's just messed up. I mean, you're not
the
doing
Fire Stick
anything,
rebooted.
You're
Never
not
mind.
doing anything with it that anybody else wouldn't do with a.
Yeah, in this case, the Fire Stick rebooted itself. It probably overheated, to be honest.
But like, what if that was plugged into your regular TV?
Well, remember that I said that we decommissioned this one because we were having issues with it.
Oh.
So, not that makes it better. Like, this shouldn't be a situation that we're hitting, but.
Yeah, he gets bored. He can't sit still for very long.
I didn't realize that when we get bored, we can just leave. Okay, well, thanks.
I do it all the time. You don't even realize.
You just put up a rebroadcast of yourself from a few weeks ago, and.
Well, there's just such a delay. I can leave at least an hour early, and nobody knows it.
The exchange rate.
What's hot on TV tonight on my Fire Stick?
I guess the other thing I can try. Oof. I'm a little closed in here right now. Okay. Don't mind my back. Technically my backside, but not my backside. Although you probably saw part of my backside in the backside. And they never saw him again.
It's funny, that air conditioning blows right on me. So then when it shuts off, it feels like it's hot in here, but it really isn't.
It's just hot by comparison.
Yeah, because it was so nice having that air blowing right on me.
Hot by comparison. That was why people kept me around in high school. Made them hot by comparison.
So I want to give a shout out to DeWalt. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a big fan of DeWalt tools.
No, you're not.
So I bought that DeWalt 20-volt cordless fan back a few weeks, months, whatever ago. So today, working on the server, and I've got it all apart on the floor, and I'm trying to maintain that hard drive being alive as long as I possibly can. I went and got that little portable fan and jetted it in there, and that worked out really nice. That's a nice little fan.
I heard it blows.
It does. It completely blows.
But on the flip side, it also sucks.
Well, it's better. It's better than their shop vac, which really sucks.
I will be back in like 2 seconds. You mind going full screen?
Oh, it's fine. I can get rid of you. Boom, and he's gone, and it's just me. I told you guys the 50th episode would be the one. Yeah, so then I found out that DeWalt now makes a a 0-turn riding mower. And I thought, oh, sweet, I should get me one of those. And then I found out they're like way overpriced. They're like $1,000 higher than the comparable mower from somebody else. And I said, no, it's not worth it. Plus my mower's fine. I just put a new deck on it. I suppose I should show you guys. So this is what it looks like so far. This is one bag. One bag got us this far. So this could take a long time. And honestly, I don't really I don't have a ton of free time to sit around and do this kind of stuff otherwise. What time is it? Got a half hour left on the stream. I can crack into bag number 2, but I don't foresee getting this done. Uncle Ron, I did actually, not overnight. I put it in there for about 30 minutes. And it was quite icicle when I pulled it out of there, and it made 0 difference. But the fact that it sat overnight, I'm trying to think. It was probably like 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon was the last time that I had attempted to read it, and it did. When I would plug it in, well, in fact, when I plugged it into my big hard drive dock, it shut down the other drive that was in the hard drive dock. But when I plugged it into the power, you just got a really slight little tick, 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 tick. Not a hard tick. It was really, really light. That's when it went into the freezer. I tried it one more time to get it to read and couldn't get anything out of it. It sat overnight and it read, I think it ran for about 4 hours today, pulling stuff off of there. So Brian says I need to check out the new Cobalt XTR. Let Zach do it in the background. No way, I bought this for myself. I'm not letting Zach build this. But again, like I haven't had a chance to process through all of the data that I've recovered. So it's possible that I have everything I need. But I'm just hoping that should I need anything else, I can get it to fire up one more time. Kit did send me a picture of a hard drive he has, and from what I can tell, it's the same board. It may not be the same firmware, but it's the same board. And if it's the component that I think that's bad, it'll be an easy component change. But I don't know. It really just comes down to, back your crap up. So, and I did. That drive is full, or that computer's full of redundancies, just not the main drive. So lesson learned. And now I have to figure out how to make it redundant. I ended up putting another hard drive, a used hard drive. It was my old desktop hard drive, and I only swapped it out because I wanted a SSD drive. So I am running on a used hard drive, which might just be asking for more trouble. But Brian says it's a nice drill. Yeah, the problem, not the reason why I stick with DeWalt. I stick with DeWalt because I like their stuff, but I already have DeWalt's battery system. And the problem with switching cordless stuffs, because Milwaukee makes some pretty nice stuff. But I already have all the DeWalt batteries, and I got a whole bunch of them. So I buy them during the Black Friday sales when you get really good deals on them and get free DeWalt tools with them. My neighbor makes fun of me because he said there is no DeWalt tool that I don't own, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a whole list of it going on Amazon of more tools. It's the color scheme I'm attracted to. No, I hate yellow. No, it's not true. I don't hate yellow. It's just not. It's not my favorite color, and everybody thinks it is. But No, I had DeWalt's from years past and just kind of stuck with it. Oh, James is back.
I am.
They almost
I
need
am.
a doorbell. So like when you
Ding
get in the green room, you could ring the doorbell.
I had to answer the call of the natures.
Oh, that's all right.
It happens from time to time.
Absolutely. Should we have a little background music?
Dun, 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 dun.
You can actually upload your own now if you want to. I have no idea if that's loud or not. It's not loud to me, but
It's loud enough that I can hear it without my headphones on.
oh, I thought we were going to be in trouble there for a second. I think the battery's going dead in my mouse. Like all of a sudden, I couldn't go down to turn it off. Yeah, I happened to notice last night when I was watching Derek's live stream replay.
Dirk.
He also uses the StreamYards.
I think just about everybody does.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's handy, but like he only has one camera and he streams by himself.
Now, is he, let's call it in character during his streams?
I don't think that's a character.
I mean, I feel like he puts emphasis on some character traits, perhaps.
Maybe, but the fact that his kids and his wife do it too, I think that's him most of the time. I don't know. I'll tell you when we start hanging out. Oh, and I noticed old Cletus McFarlane has broken 300,000 subs now. It's pretty amazing.
I'm looking forward to the day that you break 300. And then we can look back.
That could happen really, really, really soon.
You had decent growth the other day? Since the other day?
I'm still running a C+ rating, but I'm at 283.
Well, there you go. What was everybody's favorite Atari game?
Adventure. I played that game a lot. Actually, Mega Mania was my favorite, but most people don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, 283 right now. So, hey Dan, thanks for popping in. Alan King said Outrun. Was that Atari?
I think Outrun was on a lot of things.
Pitfall was fun.
Yeah.
Defender was a good game.
This is Chopper Command or Chopper Commando. I don't remember.
Chopper Command.
Going Commando.
Yeah. Commando in a chopper. How is Glenn in Retro Nerd? Well, Glenn is a little exhausted, but I'm hanging in there.
Retro Nerd? I resemble that remark. Just setting up this shot, and then I'm going to promptly push the button that makes it so you guys can't see anything for a few seconds, because I need B-roll for my next video.
You need butthole for your next what?
I need a butthole for my next video. Glenn, will you be in it? Glenn, with your...
I just want the world to know that even when I have rough days, I'm blessed that my life is just fine, even
Just
on the
fine.
rough days. That doesn't seem right, does it?
What does these days? That's enough. That's enough Atari footage that you guys didn't get to see.
Oh.
So now I have a RetroPie box connected to the HDMI, connected to the VCR, connected to the TV.
I just love the fact that it's running through a VCR. That cracks me up.
I feel like this needs to tilt down ever so slightly to be.
The devices that we watch movies on today hooked up through the device that we used to watch movies on
The other day.
the other day.
Let's get a little bit of footage of the menu screen.
Ollie said he's porting a small game from Python to Rust at the moment. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag. I'm learning Lua because I'm going to write a mobile game. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not giving it away because there's people out there that'll write it faster than me. But I'm looking forward to it.
It's about a middle-aged man who starts up a YouTube channel and then immediately starts up a different YouTube channel.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Dang it. I knew I should have
figured
kept
it
my
out.
mouth shut.
I'm the world's greatest detective. Batman can suck it. He ain't got nothing on me.
No, it'll be officially released under Fun King Games.
Lua Louie. Oh, oh. You know what? This is also good news because I wasn't positive that the software that I wrote for my custom arcade controller would actually work with the Raspberry Pi, and we can now conclude that yes, in fact, it does.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't.
They were having the reason they took it out of the Pico libraries to begin with is because the USB descriptor stuff that they were using wasn't compatible with all operating systems, and they were having issues with Linux-based stuff. And you know, that's RetroPie for you.
That's stupid Linux.
Think about where we'd be without it.
I tell you, if you're remotely computer savvy and you've never just decided, I'm going to install Linux,
You're a smart person.
you're really missing out. And
I used to go ahead, finish your thought first.
If you are computer savvy, like if you're PC savvy and you're like, I know everything, and you haven't touched Linux, it's good. I like Linux. I like Linux a lot, but I mean, some of the stuff, holy crap, do you have to go through a lot to get stuff to work?
So I used to, like, once every couple of years be like, oh, I've heard that gaming has improved quite a bit on Linux, you know, now that with Wine, and then it was WineX and all the other stuff.
Right.
You can get lots of games to run. So I would spend like a week. I would wipe Windows off my machine. I would get all my stuff working. I would get all my games working, and it would run like that for like 6 months. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm Linux all the way now. And then invariably what happened is my friends would be like, hey, we just got this new game, and we're going to be playing it all night. And it would be faster for me to wipe it and reinstall Windows and install the game than it would be to try and get the game working under Linux.
Yeah, nothing like having to take like a year to get a program to run.
Exactly.
Uncle Ron said, take 2 Lego pieces from another kit and put them in the bag for Zach next week. But every Lego kit comes, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra pieces. You always get extra pieces. Sometimes it's for the alternate models that you can build, but most of the time it's just because
Spares.
Yeah, as long as it meets their weight, they don't care. I mean, you think about how like, I mean, what honestly, what does that cost to make? You know, like fraction of a penny. I mean, I realize the research and development and the mold making, but
I mean, the majority of the pieces haven't changed much over the past. I know there's specialty pieces and stuff involved in it, but you know what I mean? Like
right,
the
for the
twos,
most part,
the ones, the twos, the threes, all that stuff.
yeah, for the most part, it's all the same stuff. Yeah. Alan King said, "Did Linux years ago. Ubuntu was great." I always say that wrong. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, I think, is the way it's actually pronounced. I always say Ubuntu. I watched a YouTube video last night. I can't remember what I was trying to figure out, but the guy kept mispronouncing everything, and it was driving me crazy. Like just, and I can't even remember. I was pretty tired, but I realized that you should never make fun of somebody who mispronounces words, because that means they learned it from reading it, not from hearing it. So great. But when it comes to technical stuff, like some of his pronunciations were like just way off.
So Redbubble messaged me last night with the information at probably like 5 or 6 p.m. And then they send up a follow-up saying, "Hey, we're just wondering if you've had a chance to review our information that we sent you yet. We'd like to close this request."
That's when you write them back and you're like, "Well, you'd like to close this request, and I'd like to have my money back in the form of payment that I made."
Did in video game facts, did you ever play Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, I played it a couple of times. I wasn't like,
So you know his best friend's name is Tails, right?
yes,
But his
sounds
real
right.
name, his real first name is Miles, and his last name is Prower. And I was like, it was last year that I finally discovered that his name is Tails Miles Prower. Miles per hour.
Miles per hour.
Prower. Yeah.
Yeah, that totally seems like something I would do. Brian said the brick puller is genius. Yeah, I agree. I can't tell you how many times I
Was it
would have to
8?
dig a fingernail underneath there, or the sets that came with the little wrench, the end of it was like tapered like a screwdriver. I would use that as a pry bar. I don't know if they did that intentionally, but, or I'd use my teeth. Man, did my mom hate that.
Yeah, my mom didn't like me using my teeth to strip wire.
Oh yeah, or break tape, like the break off tape, or I'll tell you, the engineers that come up with this stuff, they are geniuses. Absolute geniuses. So Lego's got a, I always call it the Technic sets. I don't know what they call them, or expert builders, whatever. But they got a Ferrari now that's absolutely amazing, but it's like the price of a Ferrari.
Of course it is.
And I love Lego, I really do. But I mean, to splurge, I would not have spent $100 on a Lego set had it not been Classic Space. That's the only reason that I bought this. Because Classic Space is my jam.
It's your Space Jam?
It's my Space Jam. Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Same.
Trying to think if I ate lunch. Oh yeah, I did. I had some Publix fried chicken.
I love fried chicken. Fried chicken is one of my all-time favorite foods. We've been trying to find good stuff near Ottawa.
Publix is a local grocery store. It's a southern grocery store, but their fried chicken is just the bomb.
I actually have been enjoying our local grocery store's fried chicken better than because it's a KFC style fried chicken,
Yeah,
but I find it's generally like a little bit bigger and juicier and a little bit more flavorful than KFC is.
and they probably use 12 herbs and spices.
Yep. Have you ever seen KFC's Twitter and who they follow?
No.
They follow 6 guys named Herb and the Spice Girls. That's it.
Oh. That is pretty funny.
I thought so. That's enough of that B-roll footage. Okay, somebody else make a request. What's one more thing I can put on put in the B-roll from classic video game systems? I'm unoriginal, so I need somebody
Should
else
not
to think
be
of
talking about what you're going to put in your beehole.
B-roll
Brian
is
said,
a
I
pain
also
in the
hate that
beehole.
they make you buy the base plate separately for the big buildings. Which set do you have to buy the base plate separately? Usually the sets always come with everything. I hate now that the big sets, the base plates are multiple pieces instead of giving you a full base plate. Oh, hey! Somebody who has a wrench. Do we have anybody in here with a wrench?
Throw a wrench in those plans.
Let's get rid of this. Make sure you click the report option.
Ladies and
There
gentlemen, I
you
have
are.
just hit 6,500 subscribers. XLPP JZ.
Do we have to do each and every one of them?
I don't know. You're the man with the band plan.
Wow, look at you guys. It was like you guys were battling to like you were battling to see who got to ban the most of them. Block the user. Goodbye, user.
Brian is apparently lagging behind us because he's yelling at the stuff that we're already dealing with. And by we, I mean you. I'm not taking credit for your fast work there.
Those darn spammers. We've made the big time.
I just realized I have a little bit of Star Trek footage in this video, but I don't have a Star Trek game, so I guess I got to go do that because that's my thing that nobody notices.
That's your jam.
It's my hook.
Yeah, I'm really hungry. I thought
I'm
ate
really
enough
hungry.
lunch,
I'm
but-
James.
Dad, can you make me a sandwich? Poof, you're a sandwich. Yeah, I can't remember what I got Zach with the other day. But like halfway through, I couldn't go any further, and I was just bawling laughing. He always gives me this really dumb look.
It's the only look I've got, sir. Okay, everybody, don't forget to press Alt F4 to get to the secret chat administration menu.
Horon said, reported timeout hidden. Did I miss any options? If you do report it, I believe it bans them. It blocks them immediately, but which, by the way, does anybody need a dating site? I mean, we should have probably asked before we blocked them, but so here's a fun little fact. When I first got into writing websites, and that would have been like when it was like just getting to the point of putting pictures on the internet. That's how long ago I'm talking about. I actually wrote a website for a dating company called Large and Lovely. which was a dating site for guys who liked larger ladies. So there's a fun fact. I have to say the people that owned that company were a little weird. They would make me very uncomfortable. Not because they liked larger ladies, but they were just kind of weird. And he said, I'm calling it a night, sir. Sorry, my head just isn't in a very good place. Totally understand, Annie. Absolutely, totally understand. And
You take care, and we're really sorry for your loss. That's,
absolutely. And know that, you know, we're here for you. And, you know, thoughts and prayers coming your way. Sorry if I brought the mood down. No, don't ever worry about that. That goes for anybody. You know, like
Glenn does it all on his own. Don't worry about it.
What's that?
Glenn brings the mood down all on his own. Don't worry
That's
about
right.
it.
No, we're all family here. You guys ever want to share anything, you just, as long as it's appropriate for the channel, of course.
So I'm going to show everybody something real quick before we take off. So this is Star Trek: The Next Generation on the Game Boy, and you can see the the graphics and whatnot on it. Oh, I just realized you can see my head too. That's fine. This is fine. In a second, I'm going to switch to the Game Gear version because a lot of people back in the day thought Game Boy and Game Gear were like relatively similar power, and just one was in color and one was in black and white. So I'm just going to get through this part and show a couple parts and then switch to the Game Gear one to show you what a difference the quote unquote just being in color makes. All right, so there we are. We're in orbit in a planet and all that type of stuff, and there's some decent enough pictures. You can tell that's Brent Spiner, and
is that Mark Zuckerberg?
That's Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah.
Dan wants to know that since you're running that through a VCR, are you also recording it?
No, the VCR is just doing the work. I do actually want to get an old VHS camcorder, like a higher quality one. And when I'm doing some like videos on 70s, 80s stuff, to video some of that in that to like give it a certain feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, okay, so you get an overall idea of how the graphics look, right? Everybody's good. We'll go ahead and quit out, and then we'll go find the same game on Game Gear, assuming it's on here. I'm doing all this. Maybe it's not even on here. That would be my luck.
Brian said I should complain to YouTube about the bots because this is a safe for work channel. Yeah, they won't do anything.
They don't give a flippity flu.
Plus, I mean, you don't get bots until you've actually made it. You know you're somebody when you get bots.
So this is the Game Gear version, which people like to think is, it's basically like most Game Gear games are the same as the Game Boy version, just in color. And right off the bat, that's like I mean, that looks, there's cutscenes, full graphic images.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many shades? It's not a 256 shade of gray, black and white though, right? Like,
yeah, no, it's like 16 or something. And it's like there's like color palettes that they do for it, so it's like 16 colors, or 16 shades of gray, but like you can only have 4 of them on the screen at a time or something like that. But yeah, I just remember I played this for the first time last year on the Game Gear. I'm like, oh my god, it looks so much better. Warp core breach, Alconia. Oh, that's funny. So it just generates. It's got a stack of missions, and it's got a stack of planets, and it'll just go pick a mission. So the mission is, a ship's about to suffer a warp core breach, and it picks a planet near Iconia. And there's 15 different planets, and it picked the same planet for both games as the first planet. So there's Mark Zuckerberg in color, but he still looks exactly the same because black and white. Make it so. And check it out. There's even a cutscene when you go to warp.
Bling.
And then when you come back out of warp.
Bling.
And now it's like, hey, guess what? There's bad guys here. They want to make us dead.
Uncle Ron says he has one for you that he was going to throw out, but he'll save it for you. I don't know what, but
probably a Game Gear, if I had to guess.
You can never throw out old electronics. You have to send them to James. Which I have to say, I guess moving that receiver worked for your headset because your audio hasn't dropped out.
Yeah, because it only has to travel 1.5 feet now.
So, but James still needs your money for a new headset. So go to his Patreon and
Go Power Rangers. I guess I should record some of this for the video.
I didn't realize that some of these pages have little factoids on them. So this piece, the white ventilator, let's see if that'll focus. Sometime, maybe. The white ventilator was actually retired for many years, but was reintroduced in 2019. In case you were worried about that.
I wasn't going to sleep tonight. I was just so worried.
Oh, Uncle Ron said a VHS camcorder.
Oh, well, there we go. That worked out for me. I like free stuff.
One of
Oh,
those-
wait, he didn't say it was free, though.
That's right. He's also going to send you a bill with it. So one of the great big ones you put up on your shoulder like they have on the Goldbergs.
Yep. I hope it's like red and black. You know, like that mauve red that they did with those early camcorders. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. I have an image in my head of what a old VHS camera looks like.
Oh, they were always black that I remember.
I remember the cassette doors being red.
Yeah, my neighbor had one of those, and well, his parents had one, and then they would let us use it, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. But
I had
you know, I was a dork, so you know, whatever.
Yep. It was a dork.
Well, I'm not a dork anymore.
You're actually a Dorcas Malarcus, if we're being honest, but you know, that's okay. Okay, now I gotta come on, get back this way.
Ugh.
The only thing that Game Boy has going for it is it's got one more button. So you didn't have to do like key combinations to do certain actions. It just had enough keys to handle it. So that was a learning curve. I'm like, how do I get to the screen? It's like just start mashing stuff and like, oh, if I push these two keys together, it's the equivalent of pushing select on the Game Boy. This was my favorite game growing up, and then I was like, I wonder if anybody reviewed this online. The reviews for it were terrible. This guy did a video series where, because they released this game on the Game Boy, the Game Gear, and the Nintendo, and he reviewed all three of them. And like by the third one, he was like, I poured myself a couple of drinks because we're getting back into the same game.
had to wet my neck back, my back neck.
Dun 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 dun
Couple
dun
of cold
dun dun.
snacks.
You need the cold snacks.
I gotta go in and update that chat, that night bot. I only think about it during the streams. Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess you guys can't really see my face anyway, but I keep yawning and I feel bad for doing that. But
You ever watch Better Call Saul?
dude, I love that show.
We've just started watching it. We've made it to the third season this week.
Oh, well, welcome to the roller coaster.
It's funny because like we go back and forth between feeling bad for Saul and then feeling bad for the brother, and then finally we get to season 3. I'm like, they're both terrible people, basically. It's just one of them feels like they have the high road because they've done everything like the legal way, for lack of a better way of putting it.
No spoilers, man. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, that's why we're watching Better Call
Oh,
Saul.
okay.
We watched Breaking Bad when it was originally on. So
Yeah, I didn't until later. I binge watched it later. In fact, I'm kind of thinking I'm ready to binge watch it again now that Better Call Saul's wrapping up.
that guy is quite the actor, eh?
Yeah.
Like I like the cutscenes because Kay and I were watching, and she there's a part she's like, "Is this like now or is this a flashback?" And I'm like, "Well, the whole series is a flashback." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, except for like a few scenes splattered over around the entire thing, the entire series is a flashback to." And then she's like, "You just blew my mind with that,"
It's
because
funny
you get so used to.
it's funny you'd use the term splatter.
Splattered all over the place. Anyways, all I'm saying is you better call Saul.
You better call Saul. Saul good, man.
I like just flying around space and blowing up innocent aliens. Like, that's what you get for having a ship that doesn't look like my ship, I guess.
Oh. Now we're down to 13 watching. Zach left, and so did everybody else.
Also, it's 6:33, so.
Oh wow!
Makes...
Now we're past time. Good, I can go eat.
Me too. Kay started cooking like right before I came downstairs, so.
Yeah, I didn't have a snack before the stream either. Usually I have a little something to snack on beforehand, but so what you plugging this week?
I will have a new retro video out, and I am working on one for the main channel. It'll be another Pico tutorial, and then after that, the one after in the next month or so is going to be the big surprise project that I've been working on for somebody else actually. So those that are on my Patreon already know about it. Those who don't, well, you'll just have to wait for the big reveal.
I know what it is.
Yeah, you're definitely one of those supporters that I've talked about. But really, everybody that's here every week is the ones that support us.
That is true.
It is pizza night tonight. Building Mark said. So Kay and I are supposed to eat pizza and watch some new Ninja Turtles movie that's on the Netflixes.
Yeah, I'm having salad.
You don't make friends with salad, and that's important to know.
I like salad,
but you don't make friends with it.
Whatever.
Captain Picard says. Okay, how come nobody pointed out that I'm gonna have to go back and review my footage. The camera has drifted down, so none of that's gonna be actually usable. The background, the big picture, is what is what I'm recording, and at some point, it sagged. I bet you it's just been sagging slowly on its own. Well, that's unfortunate.
I don't know if I'd be too worried about it.
Well, I mean, it's cut off at the bottom, so it would not be particularly easy. Also, I'm not actually upset that nobody pointed it out. I was just saying, oh, everybody's my enemy now.
Sanders 3D said it's 00:35 now, and he has to get up at 4:45.
That's like 4 hours and 10 minutes, man.
That's awful. That's a terrible time to have to get up. But so I do have a video coming out this week on the Garage channel. It is another Fummins video, yes. I am hoping that the next video will actually not be, though. There's some logistical issues, but the next project should be starting very, very soon, and I'm very excited about it. In fact, there might be two of them in there because that's usually the way it works, right? You can't get one going and then you get two. Yeah, Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And how?
Is it a different one?
How in the world? Maybe it's similar, but almost like I don't have access to all of the tools. Am I not logged in? That would be weird, huh? No, I'm absolutely logged into the YouTubes. But anyway, I don't know where I was going before, getadate.com popped up, but
Help control the pets population by having your kids spayed or neutered.
that's right. But yeah, so watch out for the video Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a multi-parter. I couldn't get it all into one video, but there's some good stuff in there. I poke it myself, and that's always fun. So, but other than that, I don't have anything. So this is
I
the part
will,
where
but I won't.
what's that?
I will, but I don't.
This is where I say thank you to each and every one of you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to get to sit and build Lego. It was more fun when I had my kid here, but he gets bored of me. So, but thank you for tuning in. You guys are the reason that we do these streams. We will be back next week to do it again for stream 51, and new thumbnails, and maybe a new background. Maybe, I don't know. Thank you guys. We love each and every one of you. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. And as always, till next time,
Print on.